Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and it is Monday. It is a new week. Another week is ahead of us, and we are checking in at what is the lunch hour for those of us in the central daylight time zone where I am. I am in the Austin, Texas area, a small suburb of Austin. And today we are going to talk about mindset and how having a positive mindset can open up your life to opportunities that you may not otherwise see. Hello, Queen. Thank you for joining. And so I've got a quote for you guys today. Hello, Marion. Welcome. And I've got the word positive, and I've broken it up into a acrostic. I think most people know what an acrostic is. Hello, Mr. Positivity. Welcome, Zion. It's always good to see you. Positive thinking is definitely a way of life. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Many of us are kind of halfway through the first day of a new work week. And I like checking in at noon on Monday. You've kind of gotten the morning behind you, half the day's still yet to go. You've got the rest of the week. And the question for you today is, are you prepared mentally to win? Do you have the mindset necessary to win? Welcome, Shay. Always good to see you. Looking forward to talking to you in a few hours. So, you guys come on in, get settled. Let me pull up the quote and share that with you guys first. I love it when there's a good quote that kind of sets the tone for what it is that we're going to talk about. And today, I want to share a quote with you guys from he's a business owner and an author. His name is Harvey Mackay. And he wrote a book back, I want to say in the late 80s or so, called Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. And sometimes life causes us to do just that. We have to be able to swim with the sharks. The ocean is huge. We don't get to determine what's in it. Sometimes there's sharks, sometimes there's guppies, sometimes there's beautiful things to look at. So those sharks, we just have to be able to manage and work around. The internal sharks though, what we think and how we think, that those are the sharks that we can control, that we can rewrite, that we can work through so that they're no longer sharks that may eat us alive. You don't want to eat yourself alive from the inside out, right? You should be your own best cheerleader. You should be advocating for you all the time. And having the right mindset is imperative for you to be able to do that. So positive thinking is more than just a tagline. It changes the way we behave. And I firmly believe that when I'm positive, it not only makes me better, but it makes those around me better. That's the quote from Harvey Mackay that we're coming from today. Positive thinking is more than just a tagline. It changes the way we behave. And I firmly believe that it not only makes me better, but it makes those around me better. And if you believe that, then you know the inverse is true too. When you don't have your mental together, when you're not positively responding to what's going on around you, then you end up contributing to the situation and making it worse instead of making it better. And we want to be energy setters, we don't want to meet people where they are with their energy. We want to set the tone. We want to set the energy. We want to walk into a space, walk into a situation, and it's better just because we arrived. And when our mindset is right, that very much can be the case. So we're going to look at the word positive, and we're going to take each letter of the word positive, and we're going to use a word that either is a benefit of a positive mindset or something that can help you get there. Good morning, Chandra. Good morning. Who else did I see? LaDonna. Thanks for joining. So let's get started. The P in positive is perspective. A positive mindset helps you cultivate a constructive and optimistic perspective on life's challenges and opportunities. So, perspective. Is your glass half empty? Is your glass half full? Is the world against you, or is there support in the world? However you answer those questions, it's right. It's right. But what matters is your perspective. How do you see it? How are you showing up in the world? What are you looking for? What are you expecting? If you wake up and you're expecting a fight, you will find a fight. If you wake up and you're expecting support and things to go right, that's going to happen as well. Not that it's magically going to change everything around you, but it's going to change your perspective. It's going to change how you see things, and you will focus more on the solution than the problem. You will focus more on what you have versus what you don't have. You'll focus more on what's good in this world versus what isn't. And when you have that focus, what it is that you focus on, you will create more of that just by noticing it. We talk about the red car. You've been saving and you've been excited and you're going to buy this brand new car, and you're going to get a car that's a little bit different than what everybody else has. So you're excited. And as soon as you buy that car, you see it everywhere. Every time you get on the street, you see somebody else in that same red car. Did you buying the red car make more red cars? No. The same cars were there, but your focus changed because it's a purchase that you have, because it was something that you wanted, that you obtained. Now you notice it more. You see the car that was already around you more than you would have if you hadn't gone out and purchased it. It was already there. So the outside hasn't changed. Your focus has changed. And that's what we talk about when we talk about having a positive mindset. Sometimes we absolutely can't change what's going on around us. We can't, but we can change how we see it. We can change what we're getting from it. There's a gift in every situation, and it's hard to believe. It's hard to find that gift when you're in the thick of things, when things are going bad, when relationships are breaking up, when people that you love are leaving the physical earth, when all these things are going on. You're emotional and you're in the thick of it, and it is super hard to imagine anything positive coming out of that situation. But if you look back, hindsight is 2020. They say that for a reason. If you look back on even the most difficult situations, hey Meg, thanks for joining. If you look back on even the most difficult situations, you can find something that was positive that came out of that situation. Even if it just means you learned more about your independence, even if it means you learned more about how resilient you are, you learned that you're capable of things that you otherwise would not have to try it on your own. But that person that you always depended on, now that they're not there, you've got to figure it out. You learn some things from those difficult situations. Even in the bad, it's not all bad. And that's hard for us to feel and experience when we're in the thick of it. But when you look back and you see how things unfolded, and it all, in spite of how bad it felt, in spite of how traumatizing it was, when you can see how that very thing worked out for your good, how that very thing contributed to you becoming the you that you are today, then you can start to realize that the next time you're in it, or maybe you're in it right now, you can encourage yourself and you can remind yourself, this really feels bad. This is a difficult thing that I'm experiencing, but I've experienced difficult things before, and I've come through every single one of them. So my history tells me that I will successfully come through this one too. It's what I've done, it's what I've experienced. But we forget that part of it. We forget how much we've come through and how successful we've been in maneuvering this thing called life. We forget it. And because we forget that and we focus on the things that were difficult, we sometimes lose the lesson, and we lose that resilience and being able to see ourselves for as powerful as we really are. Hey, Judy, thank you for being here as well. So that's being positive, having that perspective. And the O is optimism. Being positive enables you to see the bright side of things, fostering hope and belief in a better future. That's kind of how it was written. But the bright side of things are not always what you're going to see when you're optimistic. I believe what you're going to see when you're optimistic is you're going to maintain hope, and you're going to know that even when it's dark, the light is just on the other side. That light is going to penetrate the darkness. You're going to come through. You will be successful. You will overcome whatever the situation is. So I don't believe in just putting on rose colored glasses and pretending like everything is good all the time, because then you're inauthentic. Then you're not being true to yourself, and it makes it just that much harder to get through the situation. So yes, it's hard. Yes, it's not a bright side right now. Yes, I'm going through something difficult. Talk to yourself and acknowledge and honor your feelings. Be okay with not being okay sometimes. You acknowledge those feelings. You say that they're there for a reason. But hey, Amani, sweetheart, it's so good to see you. But at the same time, you tell yourself, this too shall pass. I know that as long as I keep moving, I know that as long as I keep striving, I know as long as I keep working and doing the right things, that this too will work out for my good. I am going to be okay on the other side. So it's not about pretending that everything is okay. It's about knowing for sure that you're going to get back to okay and even better. That's what optimism is for me. And so the rose colored glasses things, I like how things look through those glasses, but life has taught me that sometimes you get knocked down. Sometimes even while you're down, you get kicked around. And you don't go, oh, I'm so glad I've been knocked down. No, that's not how we truly feel in those moments. But if you believe and if you are sure that you're going to get back up, that you're going to come through the other side, that's what real optimism is for me. And that's the type of optimism that we can hang on to. That's hope. When I say optimism, I'm talking about maintaining and being hopeful, keeping your heart soft enough that you can continue to dream, you can continue to receive, that you believe and you know for sure that everything is going to work out for your good. And so you keep moving forward. You don't ever want to stop in the midst of the storm. There's nothing but storm. But if you keep moving, keep going, keep trying, maintains that hope, before you know it, the storm's behind you and you're on the other side. And now that storm is winds that are at your back that's propelling you forward. So it went from being something that was holding you back to something that's pushing you forward towards the life that it is that you desire. So you end up using that storm to get stronger and to help you move through. And that's what to me optimism really is. So the P is perspective and the O is optimism. The S, self belief. You have to believe in you. There is enough in this world, there's enough going on externally that will tell you about yourself, that will label you, that will tell you everything that's wrong with you, everything that you've ever done wrong since you've taken your first breath. There is somebody with a list that's just ready to pull it out and read it to you on a regular basis. And if they can't read it to you, they want to read it to anybody that will listen. Do not fall prey to that type of mentality. Your list is your history. Every day is a new day. What are you going to do today? How are you going to live tomorrow? That's what the focus is. What happened yesterday, you take the lesson from it so that it makes you better for today and you leave the rest of it where it is in the past. It's over. So you have to believe in yourself no matter what your story is, no matter what your struggle was, no matter what your beginning was. If you believe in you, then what you believe will come true. If you believed, I didn't mean to rhyme, but sometimes it just happens, right? So, what you want to do is keep moving forward, keep telling yourself, keep speaking life over you. What does my shirt say? Pray. I think it's in it, over it, and through it. Pray on it, pray through it, pray in it. It's three prayers. And everything's backwards in my reflection, and I'm horrible at mirror images. But basically that's what my shirt says. And so for me, that's just reminding me that there's something bigger and better and working on my behalf all the time. And when I don't have it, when I don't know the next thing to do, when I'm struggling a little bit with my self esteem or my self belief, I can plug in. I can plug into my source. I can recharge my battery. I can be reminded of whose image I've been made in, and I can get up, dust myself off, and get going all over again. Self belief is imperative. I mentioned the quote that I said talked about a tagline. My tagline is the voice within wins. And just like that author, I believe that it's more than a tagline. It is a way of life. If you understand that what you think about you and how you think about you, how you feel about yourself, that sets the trajectory of your life. If you believe that you can, you're halfway there. I think Theodore Roosevelt was the first person to say that. You're halfway there and just believing. And once you believe it, then you start taking actions and being involved in activities and doing the things that align with that belief. And what happens after that? You end up accomplishing it because you've put all the things in place. You've rolled up your sleeves, you've done the work, your mental has affected your external, so you're acting in alignment with what you believe. So the opposite of true. If you don't believe, you're right. If you don't believe that you're capable, you won't be because you won't see the solution. You won't see yourself being successful. And so you won't even try. You will lose before you ever begin the fight because you don't believe. So getting that mental together. When I say, are you ready to win? Are you mentally prepared to win? That's what I'm asking you. Have you done the work internally so that your mind is consistently telling you that you're capable, consistently telling you that you're valuable? If your mind is telling you anything other than that, there's work to do there. Don't get upset about it. Just roll your sleeves up and do the work. DM me. I've got a free online course that you can take, transforming your inner critic into your inner advocate, that will help you begin that journey. Do the work. It is the work of your life. If you will do the internal work to get the mindset together, everything else will align to that. Hello, Anna. Everything else will align with what you believe. So it's imperative that you're believing positive, that you're believing that you're capable and that you're deserving and that you can get it done. You have to believe that in order for it to be, or you will self sabotage all day, every day. You can have all the skills, you can have all the support, you can have every single thing that you need to accomplish a thing. But if you don't believe that you're capable, or if you don't believe that you're worthy, all that support is wasted because you won't do anything with it. You will defeat yourself every time because you just don't have the mental together. So that's why we're here today and 5 days a week talking about mindset and focus and the things that I talk about, because I truly believe with everything in me that the voice within wins. How you see yourself, that automatic messaging that's playing in your head, you conquer that, and then you can conquer anything that comes after that. Whatever life it is that you want for yourself, it's within reach. It's within reach, but it starts with the mental work. The I is inner strength. It helps you to develop resilience, and inner strength helps you navigate through tough times with grace and with determination. It helps you to stay focused. It helps you to get the job done. When you've got inner strength, some people call it grit. I really like that word. Let's get gritty. Let's find that inner strength and let's pull from it and use it when times are tough. It's natural when things are tough for some of us to fold in. It's natural for some of us to just stop. It's natural for some of us to actually want to put the covers over your head and not come out for a while. And that's okay if that's your natural inclination. But understand that that's your natural inclination and then build systems around you to move past what's natural. It's easier for me to shut down in the face of adversity or conflict. I hate conflict. I hate it with everything in me. I've hated it my whole life. But the more I've learned to deal with it, the more successful I've been. When I deal with it poorly, and I have to look at myself and go, man, I did not manage that well. I added to the problem instead of being a part of the solution. So how do I not do that the next time? What can I learn? How can I fix me? That's a growth mindset. It's not, I knew you'd mess up. You never get anything right. It's not that negative self-messaging. It's taking an honest look at what's in front of you and being able to assess it and then make the changes that are necessary so that you don't keep repeating it over and over and over again. We repeat things because we haven't learned the lesson yet. Our lives are aligned and set up in such a way that what it is that we need to learn in order to get where we're designed to go, we will repeat and repeat and repeat until we learn the lesson that frees us to move to the next level. So if you find yourself reliving the same situation over and over again, stop, pause, do some introspection. Stop and ask yourself, What do I need to learn from this situation? What is God trying to teach me? What's happening? Why do I keep experiencing this? What am I not being honest with myself about? What behaviors do I need to change? What new habits do I need to form? And when you can get that raw and that real with yourself, then you are positioning yourself to win over and over and over again. Because once you know the answer, then you adjust. You make the necessary adjustments, and then you move on stronger. You move on wiser, ready for whatever comes next. So, all right, so let's see the things we've looked at so far. We have looked at the P is perspective, the O is optimism, the S is self belief, and the I is inner strength. The T is transformation. Transformation is one of our key topics. We talk about it every Tuesday. Transformation, a positive mindset can lead to personal growth and transformation as you embrace change and learn from it. You learn to accept change. You realize that whether you accept it or not, whether you're even tapped in enough to realize that it's happening, that's the only constant is change. Things are changing all the time. Are you keeping up with the change? Are you holding on to what was? Are you fighting the change? If you're doing any of those things and you're in kind of warfare all the time, you got this internal conflict, or you're fearful. You're so afraid of letting go of what was that you're not free to experience what is. Don't be that person. Don't be so afraid that you miss what's happening around you today. You're so worried of repeating what happened yesterday. You're so scarred from your past that when goodness comes and shows up at your door, you don't let it in. You're fearful. Let it in. You learn from those situations. So when things show up now, you incorporate what you've learned and you're better able to manage it. You're better able to manage what shows up. But you've got to believe that. You've got to believe in yourself and know that you've learned. If you didn't, you'll know quickly because you'll find yourself right back in that same cycle. And then you've got to start all over and go, okay, I've missed it. What did I miss? What am I yet to learn? Because there's something that every one of us is designed to do, but we also have an Achilles heel. We all have some bad habits, some natural tendencies, some difficult relationships, some trauma from the past, whatever the case may be. We all have that Achilles heel. And sometimes that thing is winning. That heel is so sore, that Achilles is so sore and swollen that we're just limping through life. We're not making decisions. We're not taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of us because we're just trying to stand up straight. We're just trying to walk. All we feel is the pain of that Achilles heel. But when you change your focus and you look at what's in front of you and you see all the opportunities, you see all the possibilities, you'll forget about that heel for a moment. You'll get so focused on enjoying and taking advantage of the life that's in front of you that you'll get off that heel. And when you get off of it, it starts to do just that. It starts to heal up. You start to create new memories. You start to create new opportunities. You start to see yourself in a different way. You're not wounded. There's no reason to limp anymore. You've already overcome that thing. So stand up straight. Put all the weight on both feet and walk. Walk in your power. See yourself for who you really are. Stop limping when the heel has already healed. The Achilles heel is no longer cut. And we're still limping because we still remember. We are remembering the pain instead of still experiencing the pain, but we bring it with us into every new relationship, into every new situation. It's just there, just hanging over like a dark cloud, reminding us, don't run. You know your heel hurts. Don't run. Remember that time you ran and you turned your ankle? Remember that. And you have all this stuff playing in your head that's holding you back. And you have to talk to it and you go, you're right. The last time I ran, I rolled my ankle. I injured my Achilles, but I've healed from that and I've got better shoes now. I've learned how to take off without injuring myself. I'm good. I can do this. You have to talk back to your fear. Replace your fear with reality. Replace your fear with new evidence so that you're able to get up and keep moving forward, because our fear will keep us in the same space forever. It's designed to keep us safe. And anything that it's not familiar with, anything that's different from what it already knows, even if what it already knows is not that great to you, if it's accustomed to it, then any change in any way becomes very, very scary. And so you immediately see it as a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You have to give yourself the opportunity to assess it and see, is that my intuition telling me that I shouldn't go there? Or is that fear holding me down because I'm so afraid of re experiencing some hurt that I experienced in the past? Get real with yourself and do that assessment, and then you know whether or not to move forward or if it is something that you should shy away from. But do the assessment. Don't just automatically feel the panic, give in to the panic, and then don't even try. Don't even do the assessment. The I is improved well-being. It the more positive we are, the more we focus on what's good, the more the better we feel. Our energy level is higher. We smile more, so our relationships get healthier. We experience less stress. Our mental health goes up. So even in this shift, if nothing else has changed around you, if just improving your mindset can do all of that for you physically, why not give it a try? I was reading an article in Time over the weekend that was basically saying that there's not enough evidence, enough real scientifically measured evidence to prove that all of these things, journaling and positive mindset and all that, that it really helps you for, or if it does help you, it's temporary. Well, isn't most things temporary? If you're ill, if and you've got some medication that you're taking, you keep taking it until the issue is resolved. And if it's an issue that has no cure, you keep taking it forever. So having a positive mindset isn't something that you're going to do once and feel better, and then all your problems go away and they never come back. All of a sudden, you see the world differently. The article didn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I understand the scientific part of it and then wanting to do more research, but even if it's a placebo, when they do drug trials, right? They give some people the actual medication, and then they give some people just a fake pill that has, maybe some vitamin C or something in it. Nothing really that should affect them. It's called a placebo. And the people who are taking the medication respond to it and they get better. But a percentage of the people who have the placebo, they get better as well. And what that tells us, or at least that's what it tells the scientists, is that this placebo effect has to do with the mind. Just because they think they're getting medication, they feel better. Their symptoms start to subside. Well, even if that's temporary, I'll take it. And then I will do it again and again and again and again. I'll choose gratitude. I'll choose self-belief. I'll choose to do the things that will reframe my negative messaging so that I can keep getting that temporary effect. I'd rather that than to not get it at all, right? So the article, although coming from a scientific perspective, I get it. It to me, it still proved the placebo approved proves to me how powerful our minds are. If you believe it, you can affect it. It can actually happen just because you believe it. You start to feel better. Your blood pressure evens out. Your stress level goes down. Even if that's temporary, all you have to do is believe it again the next day and again the next day. And you just keep extending how long you're getting that effect. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I'll take it. So I don't need a scientist to tell me when I go walk or when I go outside and get a little sunshine, or I put my feet in the grass and experience a little nature. If I journal my thoughts for a little bit, just talking to you guys about the things that are on my mind, all of those things positively affect me. Scientifically proven or not, I feel better. That's all I need. That's all I need. And so we have so much opportunity and so much strength within us that if we would just tap in and realize how powerful we are, we can begin to change our lives on all different levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We can tap into ourselves at those levels and begin to affect change right now. And it all starts with a thought and how you're thinking about yourself, what you believe you deserve, who you believe you are. Do you let the world label you and determine what you should and shouldn't have, where you should and shouldn't go, what your life should and shouldn't look like? Or do you define that for yourself and get in alignment with your own values and goals and then live accordingly? There is nothing as powerful as having that alignment, horizontal and vertical, having that alignment so that you are doing the things that make sense to you, that create the life that you desire. Because when you get into that space, something happens. You start to things start to align and take off, and before you know it, something that you were dreaming about is working on all cylinders, and you're like, I don't even know how this happened. That happens to me all the time. I'm still amazed that you guys show up and we have these conversations every day. A year ago, this wasn't happening, less than a year ago. So, but it was an idea, and it took wings and it got bigger than me. And people look for me when I don't show up. That's amazing. I have people literally sending me DMs asking me if I'm okay if I miss a live. And so that says to me that there's something happening. There's an effect that I'm having. I don't know how long it's going to last, but for as long as I've got something to share and somebody to receive it, let's go. We'll just keep doing it. And then the V is for vibrant relationships, being positive. The more positive you are, and the more self assured you are, the more rooted you are in who you are as a person, the better relationships you'll build. You'll foster stronger relationships. They'll be more meaningful, and they will be symbiotic. There will be some reciprocity. You'll get something out of the relationship, so will the other person. You will give into the relationship, so will the other person. And I'm not talking about tit for tat equal giving, because people have different resources. There are things like my cousin is watching Creations by Queen. She calls me every once in a while and she just wants to chop it up about something that's going on in her head, or maybe she's overcome something or she's experiencing something and she just wants to talk and for us to kind of get through something. So we do that on a fairly regular basis. I don't usually call in the reverse and go, hey, this is what's on my mind, can you help me think through it? I don't know why, it just we just haven't done that. But she is such a creative person, and she's always creating and bling, and she knows I love bling. So she creates shoes and cups and hats and just about shirts, anything that you can imagine, wreaths for your door. I've gotten a little bit of everything from her over the years. But one time I went to see her, or we were she came to an event that I was hosting, and with her she had a shirt that had the voice within wins, and it had manifesting miracle makers on it, and she just gave it to me. And that just meant so much because she didn't have to, but because we're in relationship, there's reciprocity in she gives what she can give, I give what I can give, and together we both grow and do better. And let me tell y'all, if y'all looking to get something blinged and fabulous and personalized, look for Creations by Queen, because she is the best. She gets it done. But she didn't have to. She didn't have to do that for me. And people do things for me all the time that they may think is something small, and it just blows my mind. It does my heart so much good to get a nice message. You know, people pour into me on a regular basis, and I don't know if they know the effect that it's having, but it's meaningful. I show up and I try. I tell you what's on my heart each day, and my hope is that you're getting something out of it, but it's reciprocal. I'm getting something back. I'm getting comments back. People are talking, repeating what I'm saying. People share the lives. You guys show up and share your time. So it's reciprocal. We're both getting something out of this experience. And that's how relationships should be. It shouldn't be one-sided where one person is doing all the work. So I appreciate my real relationships, which is so much different than, I mean, I've got connections, and that's okay. We all, come together how we come together, but it's those real relationships that fuel me and keep me going. So vibrant relationships is huge. And then the last letter is E, one of my favorite words, empowerment. It empowers you. Listen to this. It empowers you to take charge of your life, making proactive choices that align with your goals and your values. It's your life. As far as we know, this is it. We know that there's a life on the other side, but it's different. This life here on earth, wrapped in this flesh, having this personality, having the particular gifts and talents that you have, doing what it is your assignment here. This is it. So if you don't grab it and take hold and do something with it now, when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And your life is so fulfilling when you're doing the things that you're naturally gifted at and the things that you enjoy. If you're actually able to monetize those things and build a business that sustains you around those things, how blessed are you that you actually get paid to do the things that you enjoy? That's amazing. But sometimes we get so busy, we overbook ourselves, we stretch ourselves too thin, and then the very gifts that we have, we complain about. It's us that overextended ourselves, it's not the gifting. So honor your gifts, protect your gifts, and realize that it was given to you for a reason. You have a purpose. I say all the time, you are the answer to somebody's prayers. The fact that you are here, the fact that you have come through all the things that you've come through gives you a story that somebody else desperately needs to hear. They need to connect with you. They need to hear what you've been through because you're going to show them, not just tell them, but show them that there's life on the other side, that they can get through, that they're going to be okay. You are that example for somebody. But a lot of times our gifting gets lost because we get traumatized early in life. We are operating from a place of hurt, and all we can see is the hurt. All we can see is the struggle. We don't see our way out. Your gifting is a part of your way out. So ask yourself, where you're gifted. What am I gifted to do? What am I naturally good at? What lights me up? What do I enjoy? Answer those questions for yourself, and then just kind of close your eyes in that space and see yourself using that gift and see what comes up. Because eventually, what's going to appear is your way out, is what you're designed to do, is what you're supposed to be doing with your time, your energy, your focus. So find your gift, pour into your gift, support your gift, honor your gift, and it will give back to you the life that you so desire. It's within your gifting. Know what that is, and you know so much more than the average person. Believe in you, and you believe so much better than the average person. Find your resilience, hang on to it, find your value. Don't let anybody poke at that. You have to know for yourself who you are, for yourself, because people are going to try and label you. They will try to define you. They will tell you and tell the world why they shouldn't listen to you because all these things are wrong with you. Don't let anybody else define you. You have to know for you who you are. Know for you your value. And then you walk in that. And when you walk in that, other people's stuff doesn't matter nearly as much. What they think of you, positively or negatively, doesn't matter as much. If somebody gives you a compliment, they're just stating what they see in you. But wasn't it already there? Do you need the compliment for your abilities to be known by you? A lot of people do. Because they're not confident, if someone's not consistently building them up, they can't feel it. But you need to know for you who you are and what you're capable of. If you know that, it changes everything. You walk differently. You talk differently. Your boundaries are bigger, thicker. You're going to honor them. You're not going to let people just treat you any kind of way. It's not arrogance. It's not being selfish. It's knowing who you are and protecting that so that you are fully charged and at your best self, because when you're that, you're capable of helping and doing so much more in this world. If you're constantly fighting just for your identity, you don't have much left to give. But when you know who that is, the person in the mirror, you smile at her or him, you love that reflection no matter what, because you know better than everybody, every experience, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. But instead of being weighed down by that, realize that every one of those experiences is what came together to make you the you that you are. You take one thing away and you're a slightly different person. So it's important. It's important to understand that even the difficulties, sometimes especially the difficulties, those are the things that came through and developed the best part of you. They gave you your empathy. They gave you your ability to love, your ability to bounce back, your resilience, your ability. All of your abilities come from those experiences. So don't be shameful of any of them. Realize that they were all necessary, because if you change anything, you change everything. And you wouldn't be the person that you are today. So that is it for today, guys. I'll read the quote again. Positive thinking is more than just a tagline. It changes the way we behave, and I firmly believe that when I am positive, it not only makes me better, but it also makes those around me better. And that was Harvey Mackay, who wrote Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. And we looked at the word positive and unpacked the benefits and the ways of having a positive mindset through the word. So the P was for perspective, the O was optimism, the S is self-belief, the I is inner strength, the T is transformation, the I, improved well being, the V, vibrant relationships, and the E, empowerment. So, all of those things are with you, all of those things are for you. So, your challenge today is to look in the mirror and love who's looking back at you. Look in the mirror and realize that who's looking back at you is capable of great things, is deserving of great things. And then put the action in place to have whatever your great thing is. You define what that is. You define what success is. But first, you've got to believe that you can have it, believe that you deserve it, and then you get busy taking actions that's going to make that thing happen. All right. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for manifesting. Cassandra Terry, the Manifesting Miracle Maker, joining me for Mindset Monday. I'm usually on Tuesdays at 7:15 a.m. Central for Transformation Tuesday, but I believe I've got to work at that time in the morning. So tomorrow may very well be another day where I come on at noon, but I will get the live set up and the timing and everything out just as soon as I get off work today. So I'm going to go grab a sandwich or something real quick and then get back to work. And I will let you all know when I will be back as soon as I figure it out. But I will be live sometime tomorrow for Transformation Tuesday, most likely noon again, because I'm pretty sure I'm working early tomorrow. So, y'all have a great rest of your day. Realize that the mindset matters, the voice within wins, and do the work to make sure that that voice within is moving you in the direction that you desire. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. See you soon.